Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope you are all having an awesome week so far. Welcome Domenico, hi Bogdan, Dewey, Fuang, nice to see many of our members in the class. Welcome Harjot, Elizabeth. Good to see many regular students as well. Welcome Carolina, our chat moderator. Nice to have you with us here. If you have questions, feel free to ask Carolina with the blue name in the chat. She can help you out as well. Students, we are looking at IELTS speaking part 1, talking about computers and paper today. IELTS speaking 12 to 15 minute interview, part 1, some kind of a general topic. IELTS has lots and lots, thousands and thousands of different topics to choose from. So don't try to predict your topic, just learn the right strategies and practice your English. That's the way to do it. These lessons and these materials, they are brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live lessons, and we've got lots and lots of students joining these days and really improving their English communication. We will use the websites today for interacting and learning. This is our academic IELTS website here. You can click this big red button that's just right above my head there to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We're always adding new videos, new materials, practice exams. So it is a great investment and it doesn't cost a lot. You click that join now button and you can use the code TRIP4U to get an additional 10% discount. And that's because we all want you to take a trip to wherever you're planning to go with your IELTS certificate, whether that's for school, immigration, or work. So that's there for you. Now, for the general IELTS, check out gieltshelp.com. It's the green background. And again, click that big red button there that's just above my head. It's a one-time payment, and you get lifetime access. All right, students. We've got Instagram, we've got apps for you as well. These are the apps. This is Instagram. We've got one account for academic, one account for general. Instagram has our schedules, has some really cool videos. Or shorts are getting really popular these days. We release these little short 1-minute videos with some good practice answers, and some of them are getting like 500,000 views in a couple weeks. So that's really cool. If you have questions, again, we've got lots of support. You can send me an email as well, adrian@aehelp.com, admin@aehelp.com. Rupesh, we will help for speaking today, and you will see where you can get lots more help, okay? I see that the camera is frozen. I am frozen. Just a sec. Yes, I see it. That's fine. I will deal with that in just a moment. Just give me 2 seconds. We'll see if we can fix that for you. All right, almost there. We'll just do a quick reset on the cam. Here we go. Yeah, so systems are very complex, students, for these live classes, which is fine. And on your end as well, as we get along with the lesson, if you ever have any issues, just do a quick reset. Make sure you have a good internet connection. Make sure you have your microphone and speakers set up right, because we will be speaking with each other in this class also, okay? All right. Students, Amazon has our books for practice exams if you want to have some paper books at home to practice from for learning. I think that's still a good idea often. So Amazon has those. Just search for those titles. For lessons this week, we've got Task 2 Writing for members tomorrow. We've got Reading for subscribers tomorrow, so definitely subscribe to the channel. We've got Speaking right now, and we've got more Speaking on Saturday. And then we've got this new video, practice speaking video that we released for everybody. It's got, I think, like 60,000 views or something like that already in the last couple of days. Check that out. It's really good. It's like a karaoke or an English karaoke style video where you can practice some really good sentences and structure for your answers. Okay, so check that out. All right. So Divya, lots of practice for those 6 days before your test, right? Okay, let's get into some speaking. Let's just warm up. I'm going to jump right into it with the examiner's introductory questions. So let's do this. The first question is this one. So you go to your IELTS exam, you show up early. Okay, definitely not the test to be late. You want to be there an hour before so you can practice your English. All right. And then the examiner will say, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. I will give you instructions for each part. We are conducting this exam in Vancouver. The time right now is 14 o'clock. Let's begin. May I see your identification? Make sure it's the same identification you used to register online and you used to check in for the exam. So may I see your identification? Babita says, absolutely. Babita, you want to be a little bit longer than that. So absolutely is actually a good way to start. It's very natural, especially in my part of the world on the west coast of North America here. We often answer questions with absolutely. This is speaking, by the way, everybody. So speak and repeat. Okay. Copy my pronunciation, copy my intonation. English is a melodic language. It means that we like to go up and down. And like, so, you know, sometimes you might think, oh, Adrian's like really like, wee, blah, blah, blah. But no, people actually speak like this. We really get into it. Domenico will probably say, well, not as much as Italians. We like to do it even more. But English, kind of, I guess, somewhat similar to French in the intensity of intonation. So we like to go up and down. So when somebody says, like, may I see your, we go, absolutely. Like, we actually sing it. We go, absolutely. So Babita here says, absolutely. Here is my passport that I had used to register for this test. And now, Babita, you've got a nice, full, fluent sentence. If you just say sure, or if you just say yes, you're not signaling to the examiner that you're going to be fluent, okay? You want to signal fluency from the start, all right? Okay, everybody, you can give me a thumbs up on that because that is a very important tip for your IELTS speaking. So signal that you are going to be fluent during your interview. I see some thumbs up there now. Good. So from the very first question, let the examiner know, hey, I practiced for this. I know what's going on. I'm here to mean business. Absolutely. Here's my passport that I had used to register for this test. Awesome. Good. So you want to be nice and fluent, okay? Now, you don't need to go overboard. Gopu says this. Gopu says this. This is a good one, okay? Gopu says, sure, here is my passport that I used for this IELTS registration. Please have a look. Gopu, that's good. Use your pronouns. This IELTS registration, okay? Next question always. Basically all the time you'll have these two questions back to back. May I see your identification? You have to show it. If you don't have it, you're asked to leave. Next question. What is your full name? Give me a nice, polite and professional way to answer this, okay? So, not like when you're meeting a new friend or the friend of a friend, like, oh, I'm John. Yeah, okay. But this isn't a friend of a friend. It's not just a quick little chit chat with a person that you're familiar with. This isn't a stranger who's a professional. You need to do this in a professional way. What is your full name? Shira says, my full name is Manjeet Kaur. Now, Shira or Manjeet, there's kind of a hidden question here, and the examiners are instructed to ask this question regardless. So they will say, and what should I call you? Or what would you like me to call you? It will be something like that, okay? So here, you want to signal to the examiner that you prepared for this exam. So Shira, you should say, my full name is Manjeet Kaur. Please call me by my given name, Manjeet. Okay, so just answer that hidden question so that the examiner knows that, hey, okay, this is a person that actually knew they were coming to this exam. They prepared for the past few weeks or a couple months at least, and they know this question was coming. So they're here to mean business and they want to get a good band score. All right, so again, repeat after me. My full name is Manjeet Kaur. Please call me by my given name, Manjeet. All right, Shira says, sir, you can call me Manjeet. Shira, just say, please call me. Okay. Jazz says this. Jazz says, my given name is Jazz Singh. Please call me by my nickname, Jazz. All right, Jazz, be careful. This is a bit confusing. I think your given name is Jazz and your family name is Singh, okay? And my family name is Singh. Don't make mistakes, students, with these introductions because, you know, a lot of IELTS learners say, hey, they're not marking me on these first few questions, right? Well, technically no, because they know you're nervous and you might fumble your words. But subjectively, yes, they are. If somebody is not able to introduce themselves, if they're not able to give me their name with clear, accurate English, I would not be comfortable to give them a very good or expert level of English grading, right? I mean, would you, in your language, if somebody can't introduce themselves without mistakes? Probably not, right? So definitely don't make mistakes. Just take a deep breath. This is something that should be automatic, even if you're nervous. Even if you're nervous, this shouldn't be, your brain shouldn't need to think. It should just be, my given name is Jazz and my family name is Singh. Please call me by my nickname, Jazz. Now, Jazz, I don't understand how your nickname is Jazz if your given name is Jazz. Maybe Jasmine, right? Jasmine Singh, maybe. And then please call me Jazz, my nickname, right? Your nickname is not the same as your name. So careful. All right. So the next question, how are you feeling today? Why not, right? It's an okay introductory question when we meet people. How are you? How are you feeling today, right? And Krishna Yadav says, I'm feeling excited. Sure. Why? 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 Okay. No, seriously, reasons. You have to give reasons throughout your IELTS interview. That's a fundamental strategy for your entire interview. When you talk to a stranger, if you don't explain yourself, it doesn't make for a good conversation and you're not going to get a good score even if you have really good English. So you have to explain yourself, students, okay? That concept of the why, the because, as a result, since, therefore, those should be like turning in your head constantly, okay? Constantly. So you must include explanations and many examples for your answers. Okay, this is the only way to get good scores. Okay, you have to include those explanations and examples. That's where fluency happens. That's where grammatical range happens. That's where vocabulary happens. That's where the magic happens. Okay, that's really it, right? So with explanations and examples, you create grammatical range, you create fluency, you create coherence. It starts to make sense what you're saying. You provide vocabulary. Therefore, it is absolutely, notice how I'm doing it, right? Absolutely crucial that you do this throughout the speaking interview. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense for everybody. Okay. So here, I'm feeling excited and a bit nervous because I am a shy person and I really want to do well on this exam so that I can go to a great university for my studies in architecture. Okay, so that would be, Krishna, your Band 9 level answer with explanation. Okay, so here we go. Again, students, just repeat after me. I'm feeling excited and a bit nervous because I'm a shy person and I really want to do well on this exam so that I can go to a great university for my studies in architecture. Okay, very good. All right, let's see. Dewey's got, hi Natty, I saw that you've joined in as well. Welcome Rupesh, nice to see more students coming in. Dewey has this answer for us. Dewey is an architect and an engineer. So this is Dewey here. Dewey says, I'm feeling great today. Thanks for asking. I got a good sleep last night, which helped to put me in a positive frame of mind for the whole day. Okay. Yep, sure. It might just be the morning still, but if it's the afternoon, why not? Dewey, that's a great answer. I love it. Let me show you what Dewey's doing well here. First of all, he's being optimistic. Optimism goes a long way. Just be optimistic. I like this. Thanks for asking. Natural and polite. I got a good sleep. Sometimes we just say I got good sleep. We omit the But I got a good sleep last night, which helped to put me in a positive frame of mind. Look at that nice, natural, expressive, idiomatic language right away. Okay, very nice, Dewey. Positive frame of mind. Frame of mind, right? So it means that you have good thoughts, good feelings, and you get put into a positive mood. So really nice. Students, when you're looking at new vocabulary, especially some very nice natural phrases like this one, definitely write it down and practice it. Okay, this is a very common phrase. It's often used by Canadians, Americans, British Australians to be put in a positive mood. Okay. All right, next question. What helps you to relax? Okay. Give me a nice full sentence for this one. Nipa, one of our regular students. Nipa, I think you were a member before too, no? If I remember correctly. Nipa says this. Good to have you here, Nipa. Nipa says this. Nipa says, listening good music helps me a lot to relax because I love listening music, and when I feel bored, I listen music, or sometimes I really favorite books. I read my favorite books. Okay, Nipa, good ideas, bad grammar, we'll fix it. Okay. Here we go. So listening to a good song helps me to, let's paraphrase a little bit, unwind. Not unwind myself, okay? Unwind. Not myself, okay? Big no-no on the myself, all right? I hear too many students saying I unwind myself. If you tell somebody you unwind yourself, it literally means that you're like all twisted up and you go woo, and you unwind yourself like a wind-up doll or a ballerina or something. That's just weird. You don't want to make awkward, strange mistakes, especially not early in your test, okay? So you only unwind, not unwind yourself, all right? Okay, let's quickly delete that before people get confused. Okay, so listening to a good song helps me to unwind. Because it's used to join sentences, students, we usually avoid starting a sentence with because. This is an important tip for your writing as well. Okay, generally we avoid starting sentences with the word because. In spoken English or in spoken language, it's okay, but not in written language, okay? So listening to a good song helps me to unwind because I love listening to music when I feel bored. Not bored, it's the wrong word here, Nipa. When I feel stressed after a long day at work or school. So I listen to Elvis Presley. And sometimes I read my favorite books, like The Life of Pi. Pi, I think like that. Pi, like that. Okay, good, sure. So I'm not a big I like Elvis Presley, but I don't listen to him. It doesn't matter. IELTS is not about the truth. It's about just speaking quickly. Elvis Presley was the first thought I had. He's the king of pop, right? So why not? Or king of rock. Sorry, I should say king of rock. Michael Jackson is the king of pop. Okay, so here we go, Nipa. Much better grammar. Let's try it. Let's repeat. Listening to a good song helps me to unwind because I love listening to music when I feel stressed after a long day at work or school. So I listen to Elvis Presley, and sometimes I read my favorite books like The Life of Pi. Now we're good. Okay. All right. There we go, students. Let's get into today's specific topic. So the examiner will say, all right, let's talk about computer, paper and computer. How often do you write on paper? Okay. Give me a nice full sentence for this one. Nipa, I saw that you're picking up what I'm putting down. That is fantastic. All right. Koa Duong says this for us. Koa says, let's see. I write some lessons, tips, also English vocabularies on my notebook day by day. Yesterday, I had to write the knowledge of environmental monitoring to understand them correctly. Okay, so Koa, this would be a band 5 if you said it fluently. Okay, if it were broken English, it would be like a band 4. So band 5 because it is awkward, some wrong word choice, incorrect grammar mistakes. Okay, and does not answer the question clearly. So that's why it's a band 5. unfortunately, Koa. It's not good enough. Got to do better. Got to do better. Okay, let's change it. Instead of I write some lessons, everybody, what do you think Koa was trying to write here? And the examiner picks this up. Okay, so what do you think? Bogdan says notes. Yes. How do you say that correctly, Bogdan, in a full sentence? Joao, or Juan Pablo. Good to have you. Hung Bui. Notice, students, it's not just so, sometimes people think it's the examiner. No, it's not the examiner. Everybody has the same kind of ideas. It's notes. So I write some lessons. No, I jot down notes. Okay, absolutely. So I jot down notes, tips, and vocabulary in my notebook every day. So I frequently write on paper at least 2 to 3 pages, 1 to 2 hours. Okay? That's what would make sense. Yesterday, I had to write the knowledge of environmental monitoring. What do you think Koa wanted to write with knowledge of environmental monitoring to understand them correctly? Can somebody else correct this phrase? Let's see. I want to also show you this, that, use your peers. So you've got lots of people, and the more help we can get from each other, the better. And soon we're going to do some volunteer work and ask and answer questions. And I want to encourage you to do that with each other as well, not just me, okay? So I had to write the knowledge of environmental monitoring to understand them correctly. Can somebody write that clearly? Okay. Mihak says concern towards surrounding. Okay, Fuang says information about environmental monitoring. Yes, can you finish the sentence, Fuang? So you're there almost. Yesterday, I had to write information about, yes, that's the better English, absolutely, Bogdan and Fuang, information about environmental monitoring to, what's the rest of it? Let's see. Anybody get it? Maybe. Okay. Environmental monitoring to learn this new knowledge. Okay. That's where that would have come in. Or to understand it better, Maddie. Absolutely. Maddie says we could have just finished by saying to understand it better. Yes, absolutely. That will work. Okay, good. So now we are at a band 9, okay? Clear, accurate English with good explanation and example. It's coherent. So now we're good. Okay? All right. Okay, let's do one more here. What is better about writing on a computer? So we're talking about writing on paper and computer, and the examiner might ask you, what is better about writing on a computer? All right. Ashok says, mostly I think anyone whose handwriting is worse but have a great typing skill is more advantageous and better about writing on computer because we don't need to worry about our writing and pen. All right. Let me grab that, Ashok. Let's take a look at that. Okay. So Ashok says, mostly, I think anyone whose handwriting is worse but have a great typing skill is more advantageous and better about writing on computer because we don't need to be worried about our writing and pen. Okay, there's lots of grammar mistakes here, lots of coherence mistakes. So again, it's about a band 5. So you really need to focus on that clear, accurate, coherent language. Okay, bad handwriting. What do we call that? So there's another way to say that with more advanced English. It's called poor what? Starts with a P. Let's see if anybody knows this vocabulary. Again, having good vocabulary definitely does help your coherence, but it's not just about good vocabulary. It's about good grammar and good fluency as well. So poor starts with a P. Let's see if anybody knows this word. It's a nice word. It's a nice word to know. It's called poor penmanship. Very good, Sandrine Gun. First one out of the gates. Poor penmanship. Okay. Or as I like to say, chicken scratch. Okay. Sometimes my handwriting looks like chicken scratch, okay? That's an idiomatic expression, and it is okay to use. If you can use that vocabulary, that will impress the examiner. They'll go, oh, you know that expression. Okay, so chicken scratch. Poor penmanship is the professional way. This is the slang way, chicken scratch, okay? All right, so you could say mostly, anyone who has poor penmanship penmanship. There we go. So mostly anyone who has poor penmanship is better off using the computer because they may have difficulty communicating with their audience if their handwriting is, when we cannot read a piece of information. How do we say that in English? Cannot read it because it is chicken scratch. Okay, so if we cannot read it, very good, Domenico. Look how fast you were on that, Domenico. It's illegible. That's right. It means it cannot be read. Illegible. Okay. So mostly anyone who has poor penmanship is better off using the computer because they may have difficulty communicating with their audience if their handwriting is illegible. Also, the computer can assist the author with spelling and grammar check that makes writing more accurate. Unfortunately, you do not have those tools in IELTS in the computer-based test. Okay, these are reasons I prefer the computer over pen and paper. Okay, so there's a nice response to this question. So what is better about writing on a computer? Try it, everybody. Here we go. Repeat after me. Mostly, anyone who has poor penmanship is better off using the computer because they may have difficulty communicating with their audience if their handwriting is illegible. It's a long one. Repeat it. For those of you who are confident in your English, when you're repeating, repeat without reading. Repeat by just listening Okay. For those of you, if you need to read a little bit, if you're getting stuck, that's fine too. Okay. It's absolutely okay to do that. Okay. Here we go. Second part. Also, the computer can assist the author with spelling and grammar check that makes writing more accurate. These are reasons I prefer the computer over pen and paper. So I took the computer-based IELTS exam, right? You can even say that. Okay. Let's do volunteering. Let's give lots and lots of chances for people to volunteer for speaking. Carolina, I saw that you got the word illegible as well. Can you legibly let everybody know in the chat how to volunteer to speak with me? And then we will talk more strategy and have more examples for these upcoming questions, okay? So first of all, to volunteer, everybody, go to aehelp.com. That's step number one, because that's where we have our audio chat interface. Now make sure you have good internet connections, microphones, and speakers at this point. Okay, there's the instructions by Carolina. So go to aehelp.com. Then go to your My Student account. aehelp.com is this one, but you could use GIELTS if you wanted to. They use the same chat interface, okay? So here, little boom, join now will get you into the premium IELTS, and the green try demo will let you use this for free and try it out. Absolutely, okay? We're, by the way, everybody, I didn't say this at the start, we are an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center, certified British Council agents. We help thousands of students every day with their IELTS, so you're in the right place. All right, My Student account. My Student account, computer-based practice tests, full interactive course, study plans, workbooks, practice exams, lesson videos, audio CDs, additional services for work, school, university, Task 1, Task 2 editing. And right now we are looking there at the student partner speaking, where you can talk to other students, just above my head there, right there. Okay. Click on that, get in there. You are responsible for your words, for your communications in here. You're going to see all these awesome students. Look at that. Woo, we've got like 20, 30 people in here already. And now you just volunteer. Okay, so you volunteer by clicking the blue button beside my handle. My handle is Master of Disaster. No, just kidding. Master. Okay, so click the blue button, and then I'll see you volunteering, like Gopu here, and Dewey, and Divya, and Fuang, and Juan Pablo. So yeah, and then I'll reach out to you. So I'm gonna reach out to Juan. We haven't heard Juan's voice in a while. Let's see if he's there. I'll put my ears on here, Juan, in just a second. Juan, are you there? Ooh, my hands are... I've been getting good sleep. I've stopped drinking coffee, and I have more energy than ever. So I'm sticking to water, as many of you can see. Today, I've been doing lots of running. I've got a big running race coming up at the end of this month. Okay, so I get really energetic. Okay, Juan.
Hello?
Hi, Juan.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How are you?
I'm doing well. What about you?
I am doing fantastic. Juan, can you just briefly tell everybody where you are in the world and why you're taking the IELTS exam?
I live in a small city in Argentina, in the Patagonian region. And I'm planning to take the IELTS exam because I want to have some certification or proof about my knowledge of English. I'm not planning to travel or migrate to another country right now, at the moment.
All
So
right.
yeah, that's most. And also, I think it's very interesting to study the IELTS exam because it can help me improve my English in several ways.
Absolutely, especially professional English, right? So it's good to have, as it's the best proof of English in the world currently, for sure, the International
Hmm.
English Language Testing System. And just some food for thought, that means some interesting information, some food for thought. According to the statistics in the last couple decades, 90 to 95% of all of the money in the world changes hands using English. That's
Oh my God.
crazy, right? 90 to
Yeah.
95% of all money in the world. So if somebody's not speaking English, they're missing out on a pretty big market, right?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, that's true.
so it's good to have no matter where you are and what you're doing. So Juan, you're very smart. You're very smart for doing that. Okay, let's jump
Thanks.
into some questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do this. So welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. We are currently conducting this exam in Mendoza. The time right now is 14 o'clock. May I see your identification?
Sure. Here it is. It's my passport, which I use for registration.
What is your full name?
My name is Juan Pablo Avila, but you can call me Juan.
Okay, Juan, the speaking has 3 parts. For part 1, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. How are you feeling today?
Today I'm feeling great. These last couple of days I've been a bit under the weather, but today I woke up very early. I had a big breakfast and I'm feeling great.
What helps you to relax?
Usually, when I'm at home, I like to watch some series on Netflix, and that really helps me to unwind and to relax.
Let's talk about paper and computer. How often do you write on paper?
I generally write on paper every day. Since I'm learning English, I like to take notes, especially of new words I hear, and I read on books and I write it on my notebook, along with a definition and example sentence.
Okay, I'm going to just stop there, Juan, because you're doing great, first of all. So you're doing fantastic. Really nice natural language. You have a couple of tiny little places where there's just very, very subtle oddities. And I think so far, because of those, you would probably get about an 8.5. So you're almost at that perfect 9. You're definitely improving. So I've heard you speak over the course of several months now, if not more than a year. Maybe you can correct me here how long you've been attending the classes. How long have you been attending, Juan? Off and on. How long have you been attending these live classes?
On and off, maybe 3 years.
3
I used to
years.
I used to send you audios to your email.
Right, yes. And the proof is in the pudding. So you're definitely improving your intonation, your pronunciation, your level of comfort, your accuracy have improved a lot. That's amazing to hear. That's very inspiring
Thanks.
for me as well. So, so very good. I liked your answers. When I asked you how are you feeling today, you said today I'm feeling great. This last couple of days, these last couple of days, right? So it sounded like a
Mhm.
this instead of a these because it's plural, right? So these last couple of days I've been under the weather, but I've been getting good sleep, lots of good food and hydration. So now I feel fantastic. Instead of repeating the I'm feeling great, now I feel fantastic, or I'm feeling
Mhm.
much better, right? So try to paraphrase a little bit there. But overall, Juan, that was really good. I liked your response to watching Netflix as well, and watching the series. Maybe give an example of a series that you're watching, right? And then, that just makes it so much more. When you say something like I watch a series on Netflix, if you add something like Chef's Table, because I'm into cooking, then that just makes it that much better, right? So simple, quick, personal, right? This is an important tip for everybody, by the way. In the IELTS speaking, it's really, really, really important that the examiner feels your communication is personal. It's not generic. So that's why you want to include those examples, okay?
Or maybe a genre.
Sorry, what's that one?
Maybe to say a genre, like I watch comedy, for example, or drama.
Yeah, that's okay. I would still give some specific show that you watch, especially if you can choose like a really popular show that everybody is familiar with. Like, what's that one that's internationally really popular where it's about the thieves, that band of thieves that steal? Anyway, I think it's really popular in Spain. It's a Spanish show. But anyway, so you get it. So name a popular show. So how often do you write on paper? You said I should really write on paper every day. It's okay. It's a little bit of a different way to say it. I would be a little bit more direct. Like, I write on paper every day, at least once or twice for 10 to 20 minutes since I'm learning English.
Yeah.
Okay, so a bit more direct. But overall, Juan, very, very good English. Very nice. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Juan, have an awesome rest of your day in Argentina.
Thank you. You too, and thanks for everything.
Absolutely. Keep up the good work. Yeah, impressive. Very good English. Bye, Juan.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, that was Juan jumping in to showcase some nice English. All right, Dewey. Let's give Dewey a try here. Dewey, I think, was the very first one to volunteer from what I saw. So, Dewey, are you ready? Dewey also very studious in the classes often. I'm looking for lots of students here. Fatmanur, I see you in there as well. Fatmanur is very studious also. Got lots of time, everybody, so hang in there. Check your connections.
Hi, Adrian. How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Dewey?
As usual, I'm doing great as well. Thanks for asking.
Yes, I saw that in your comments. I even copied it out, right? You're getting some good sleep.
That's very important, the sleep. Yeah, every day if I got a good sleep, I feel very positive and energetic.
What's your secret to good sleep?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't usually have good sleep. That's just for disclosure. And I think for a good sleep, you have to have a very usual time to go to bed. I try to go to bed every day at 10 p.m., but sometimes I just got caught up in my social whirlwind, and and then I stay up until 2 or 3 a.m. That's bad.
I thought you were going to say like midnight. You shocked me. 2 or 3 a.m. That's terrible. Yeah, I think, I know from my personal experience that is a big one. Absolutely. So getting good sleep is very important. And, this is kind of at the end of the day, we all really need 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night as humans to function well. And whether we get that from midnight till 8 a.m. or from 10 p.m. till 6 a.m., we need to get those 7 to 8 hours. And this is a very important tip for everybody, especially the days leading up to your IELTS exam, like your speaking test. Get good sleep. That can easily make a 1-band difference in your performance, having good sleep. When our brain works better, our language works a lot better, and speaking in another language, well, you need to have good sleep. So you're right, Dewey. Okay, Dewey, are you ready for a few questions?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's talk about paper and computer. What is better about writing on a computer?
Well, needless to say, I think there are several benefits about writing on a keyboard of a computer compared to handwriting, such as developing hand-eye coordination or improving writing speed. And I think it's just much more convenient to edit a text on a computer as opposed to pen and paper method. And that's why I prefer typing on a computer to handwriting.
When is a paper more useful than a computer for writing?
To be honest, I can hardly think of any situation when writing on a paper is better. However, one possible situation when pen and paper is better is when people are outside in the streets and they just can't use their computer.
Do you like to read on paper or from the computer?
I definitely prefer to read on computer because I can have much more source of information just on my computer compared to a stack of papers, which is very cumbersome and it's bad for the environment as well.
Why is it bad for the environment?
Well, I think if we use a lot of paper to produce newspaper, we produce a lot of carbon footprint. So we have to cut down trees, and therefore we contribute to deforestation, and therefore it's bad for the environment.
All right, I'm going to stop there. That's what you want to say, Dewey, without me asking the why. So you want to include that part, and then that will change that answer from a band 775 into a band 859, right? Because look at all of that language. I think if we use paper, we're leaving a carbon footprint. That's a band 9 level vocabulary, right? And then you said deforestation, another band 9 vocabulary, and great explanation. So that's what you want. And this is an important tip for everybody. Don't expect your examiner to fill in the blanks. Of course, the examiner knows that that's what you're implying, but in the IELTS exam, it's not about implied information. It's about clear information. So you have to say that. So Dewey, make sure you finish those thoughts, the explanation every single time, okay?
Okay.
Don't overspeak, but that's not overspeaking. That's a critical part of that answer, right? When you say, I think it's bad for the environment, it's like, what? What do you mean it's bad for the environment? Well, we cut down trees, right? We need trees. So, yeah, I agree. I think, we got rid of plastic straws. The next step, I think, is every public school should get rid of paper books. And we should have a world initiative for that. And we could save many forests that way. Okay, let me jump back to a couple of your other answers. They were awesome, Dewey, by the way. So everybody, Dewey is definitely band 885. So right up there with Juan with your answers. Absolutely. Your lexical resource was really nice and high. It was like a band 9. What is better about writing on a computer? Dewey said, well, needless to say. So good use of those leading expressions. You use them naturally, not awkwardly. Okay, you said, well, needless to say, I think there are several benefits of writing on a keyboard. Look at this word here, keyboard. Instead of saying computer, Dewey said keyboard, and that's brilliant because, in fact, that is the tool that we're using to write on, right? Such as developing hand-eye coordination and improving speed. Okay, now one quick tip. And this is a really important one for everybody. Quantitative language. Quantitative language is your friend. And I don't want to turn you into a robot, but I want to turn you into efficient communicators when it comes especially to business and tests like this. Improving speed. Dewey, what do you mean improving speed?
Yeah, I see. And improving writing speed. For example, when I write on paper, I can write 40 words per minute. But when I type on a computer, I can type as much as 100 words per minute.
Awesome. That kind of language, that kind of content will lead you to a band 9, right? So, and improving speed on paper, and you can even, without using, for example, just cut right into it, Dewey. So on paper, I write about 40 words per minute, and on a keyboard, I type about 100 words, and that's nothing to sneeze at, right? We're talking about 150% increase in speed, right? That's huge. So I type about 100 words per minute. Absolutely. That's probably true for me as well, Dewey. So quantitative language, clear explanations. When you're up at that band 6, 7, 8, level in the IELTS, those are extremely effective to push your band score up just that half a band or one band more. Okay?
Yeah, thank you very much for your advice.
And thank you, Dewey, for those great sentences. That was really good. I hope you continue to have a great day and go to bed early. You're going to remember, you'll have a great day the next day, right? It's worth it.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay. Just
Thank
don't.
you very much, Adrian.
Just don't. Here's the tip: just don't click on that next episode in Netflix. Okay, just turn it off. Turn it off. Okay. All right. Bye, Dewey.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's probably I'm coming from myself. That's what happens to me, right? Next episode coming up. Zzz. No, stop. No next episode. You have to stop yourself. You know, it's kind of funny, right? Like we complain about TV years ago because TV has all that advertising, and when the show finishes, you don't get to see the next episode till next week. And people are like, "Oh, Netflix is better because you can just see the next episode right away." Yeah. But it's a double-edged sword because sometimes people binge watch. Binge watch means they just continue to watch 10 episodes in a row. And the next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. All right. Let's see who's with us here. All right. We've lost a couple students I was looking at before, but that's okay. Hang in there, students. Hang in there. Okay. Let's take somebody from the bottom here. We've got Kwan, one of our premium students. Kwan, are you ready? Let's see if Kwan is with us today. Kwan, if you're... Yes, Kwan is there. Good. Okay, let's connect with Kwan. Kwan, sounds like you picked up, but I do not hear your voice, Kwan. Not sure where you're connecting from. You might have some local area firewalls, depending on where you're routing. Like if you're routing through Taiwan or China or through Hong Kong or something, you could have some firewalls causing an issue there. You got to check that out, students. So you might need to use a VPN. Test it with other students. Kwan, test your system with another student, see if it works. If it works, get back to me, okay? All right, Anahita, I know you had issues, but it seems that you figured it out last time, so let's give Anahita a chance again. Anahita, are you ready? I think Anahita's using Apple. Apple also can sometimes be a little... Apple with all their proprietary software, beautiful phones, beautiful software, sometimes limited, right? So let's try though. Let's give it a shot. Anahita, I'm not hearing you. Okay, here, let's try this. Everybody, I'm going to refresh my page, get a fresh connection, because I do see that there are a lot of us in here. So we could be crowding up the system a bit, which is fine. Anahita, I'm going to refresh my system just to really make sure it's not on my end. You do the same, everybody. Send me another invite or send me another text, and then I'll try again, okay? So I'm just going to let's do a quick refresh here on my page. And then just send me another salutation, okay? Fatmanur, I see that you just came back as well. Again, remember, students, in these live classes, I mean, we've got 250, 300 people watching at any time, right? So it can get a bit tricky here. So just reconnect, refresh your page, send me a message, and then we'll do it up that way, okay? All right, Anahita, let's try this one more time. Should work now. Are you ready? Okay. Got a bit of time, so hang in there. Give you another shot here, Anahita. Okay. Anahita, are you there? Still no answer. Okay, you got to check it out on your end. What's going on? Okay, Fatma Noor, I said I'd reach out back to you, so let's try it. Are you ready, Fatma Noor? You've been very patient. One of our premium students, I believe also one of our channel members. So really studious, really pushing to get that great band score. Practice makes perfect, everybody. It's definitely the way to do it. Fatma Noor, if you're there, let me know and I will reach out to you. Okay. Yes, Fatma Noor? No? Yes, you are. There you are. Hello, Fatma Noor.
Hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Fatma Noor, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Turkey.
From Turkey. Whereabouts in Turkey?
In Istanbul. I live in Istanbul.
In Istanbul, quite a famous city in the world. All right. And why are you taking the IELTS exam?
Because I want to apply some master's program in America.
What kind of master's program?
It's about plant genetics and the drone technology. We want to combine this technology with the help of artificial intelligence.
Okay, so plant genetics, drone technology, and artificial intelligence all together.
Yes.
It sounds like you're building a giant flying plant that's going to take over the world.
No, not exactly like that. We want we want to observe the genetical development within drone technology.
Okay, but if I
We
see
can
it,
scan it and we can see which genetic method is the best way to improve the plants.
okay, but if I see giant rose bushes flying above me trying to eat me, I'm going to blame you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's answer some part 1 questions here. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Do you like to read on paper or from the computer?
I do like to read on paper because computer lights can harm my eyes. Yesterday, I had a very long article that I have to read, and it was on my computer, unfortunately, and after 1 hour, my eye starts to burn. Therefore, I stopped reading and I printed it and I read it on the paper because it is better way to me.
If you had to write a book, would you choose to do it on paper or with a computer?
That's a tough question because because I probably choose computer since it is important to save the files, because writing a book means I have to write at least 60-70 pages, and collecting these pages are important, but I love the feeling of writing using pen and pencil while writing. Therefore, it is a little bit hard to answer to me.
Okay, I'm going to stop with those two and just focus on those two questions to really give you some good feedback here. Fatma Noor, first of all, do you like to read, yes, do you like to read on paper or from a computer? Your biggest mistake, and this is kind of weird to say this, but it's that you're being truthful. So you're getting yourself into a difficult situation by expressing yourself truthfully and thinking through the answer while you're speaking. And because of that, you're getting into awkward situations where the grammar starts to fall apart and your fluency starts to break down and your lexical resource, your word choice starts to become a little bit off. So my first suggestion to you, Fatma, is for the IELTS especially, keep your answers simple. So be you. And you know how I said to Dewey, like you want to include the Netflix series that you're watching, so an example. So you want to be original and be you, but it doesn't mean necessarily to digress, to really go deeply into your answers, okay? So I said, do you like to read on paper or from the computer? You said, I do like to read on paper because the computer light can harm my eyes. Yesterday I had a long article to read. Remember your quantitative language, okay? It was more than 20 pages. And my eyes started to burn, okay? Started to burn, not starts to burn because it's in the past, right? Started to burn. Therefore, I printed the last 10 pages and read it that way. Okay, so let's try that sentence one more time. Just repeat after me, and this is for everybody, okay? So just repeat the second part. I had a long article to read. It was more than 20 pages, and my eyes started to burn. Therefore, I printed the last 10 pages and read it that way.
Yesterday, I had a long article to read. It was more than 20 pages, and my eyes started to burn. Therefore, I printed the last 10 pages and read it that way.
Okay, much better. All right, that's what you want to do. Quantitative language, everybody. Quantitative language, okay? Very important. All right, this one here. If you had to write a book, would you choose to do it on paper or the computer? You cannot try to figure out what you would choose in real time on the IELTS, okay? It doesn't work, Fatma. You just have to figure it out, okay? And go with it. So you have to say on a computer and then use the conditions. So given the chance to write a book, which I probably will do in my master's and PhD, I will choose the computer because it's important to save files. I don't want to risk losing many hours of work writing on paper. And also it's easier when it comes to spelling, formatting, and grammar. Okay, so assertive, definitive answers in the IELTS. No wishy-washy answers, because even if you're a native speaker and you're very fluent, wishy-washy answers are confusing and you'll get a low score. You following me?
Yeah.
Okay, so not on the IELTS. Okay, if we're in a coffee shop having a chit-chat, maybe yes, but not in the IELTS. Okay, one more time, try to answer this question. If you had to write a book, would you choose to do it on paper or with a computer? Why?
In a given chance, I would like to write a book in a computer, in a computer, because it is important to saving files. Yes, I forgot the rest of the answer.
I wouldn't want to lose many hours of work writing information on paper.
Yes, I wouldn't want to lose many hours of information writing on paper.
Okay, many hours of work, or risk losing many hours of work. So assertive answers, okay? Assertive answers will get you the good scores. And then remember the grammar check and the spell check, right? If you're writing a book and you have to do all of that editing by hand, that's a monumental amount of work, right? You wouldn't want to do that. So keep your thoughts simple, Fatmanur, okay? All right?
Okay.
All right. Well, I really hope that you get to your master's in the US. I have a feeling you will. It sounds like you're a smart cookie. So you'll get there, and then just be really careful that the planet doesn't get taken over by flying plants on drones, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, Fatmanur.
Goodbye.
All right. Hopefully she comes back again. All right, everybody. Let's see who else is here with me today. Al-Wakil Ahmed. Ahmed, I am available. Are you ready? Let's reach out to Ahmed. I don't know if we've heard from Ahmed. Maybe we have. He's another premium student. We've got so many premium students. It's so awesome to see so many people joining our premium IELTS package. It's fantastic, everybody. And I really hope that when you log into your account, you open up your student partner speaking and keep the page open so that somebody can reach out to you. And in fact, even better, reach out to people. So just like what I'm doing, hey, do you want to practice a couple of questions or some words, right? Al Wakil, Ahmed, are you ready here? Let's just ring Ahmed, see if he's still there. Hopefully Ahmed can hear me. Okay. Ahmed. Hello, good sir. I hear you there. Are you there? Ahmed, can you turn up your mic, or can you go closer to your mic? Because I can definitely hear that you picked up. I think you're maybe a little bit far. I'm having trouble hearing you through your mic.
Yeah, can you hear me, please?
You're very quiet. It sounds like you're very, very far away. And yes, Madiha, Money Heist was what I was thinking of for the Netflix. Yes. Ahmed, closer to the microphone.
Yeah, can you hear me, please?
I could hear your chair moving, and I can slightly hear your voice, but it's really tough. It literally sounds like you're talking to me from the next town or next building over.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, Ahmed, check your mic. Check your mic. I'll check back on you another time, okay? You got to check your mic. I don't think we can do it with that quality of audio. It's just a bit off. If you can improve that like 50%, it'll be better, okay? But you're just a bit far off. All right. Gopu being very studious. Let's give Gopu a chance. Gopu, are you ready? Gopu Kiran. Okay, check your audio setup, everybody, when you're connecting. Make sure you've got a good microphone connection. Okay. Well,
Hey,
hi, Gopu.
it's nice to speak with you again.
It's good to speak with you as well, Gopu. How are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing great.
All right,
Thanks
and
for asking.
you're in Kerala.
Yeah.
See, I remembered.
God's
There
own
you
country.
go. There you go. I remembered. All right. How's
Yeah,
the weather in
you should come
Kerala?
here. I mean, you should come here and explore different places. I mean, it's here like mixed climate. Mostly it's like sunny.
Mm-hmm.
However, once in a week it will rain. So
Mhm.
yeah, we can expect either you know weather change.
Rain is good. Water is life, right? So
Yes.
okay, let's talk a bit more about computer and paper. Here we go, Gopu. If you had to write a book, would you choose to do it on paper or with a computer?
Well, I will always choose my computer because it is really quite convenient for me to write and edit different paragraphs and organize according to my preference. So, in fact, I recently also written some a screenplay. So I written in my laptop.
Okay. Have the way people write changed because of the computer? And if yes, in what way?
And equally, I would say the people's writing has been changed after the invention of computer. Especially, people can. I mean, nowadays people can get whatever the information just the tip of their hands. So, and consequently, the time duration to write or to do any research or to complete any kind of article is really less comparing to the past.
That is the end of part 1. We will now continue to part 2. All right, Gopu, that was good. Let's make it better. So far, that's about a band 6-ish, 6.5. You've got really good ideas, and I really think you should be closer to the band 7.5 range. But again, keep working on fluency and just some slight correction. So some of your expressions are just slightly off. And the biggest tip, of course, the biggest tip, everybody, this is a really important tip. Gopu, this question: if you had to write a book, would you choose to do it on paper? What kind of a question is that? So what type of grammar is that?
It's future.
And it's what type? It's a conditional, right? Conditional.
Conditional.
If you had, so given this, it's computer logic. If this, then that, right? So it's a conditional. Everybody, you have to reflect grammar. It's very important in the IELTS that you reflect grammar. Okay, so you must reflect grammar in the IELTS. Okay, it's very, very important. So neither you nor the last student reflected grammar. You have to reflect grammar. So given the opportunity, okay, given the opportunity, I will always choose my computer. Just so much better right away. It's like you're telling the listener that I have the condition. I know what you're asking with the condition. Here is my response, my situation in that condition. So given the opportunity, I will always choose my computer because it is really convenient. Now, I loved this part, Gopu. So this is why I know that you should be closer to a band 7.5, because you have the vocabulary and you have the ideas. You just have to put it together and practice it. So this part was really good, Gopu, where you said convenient for me to write and edit. Use a correlative conjunction here. So convenient for me to both write and edit, so that both has that emphasis. So both write and edit according to my preference. I recently wrote a screenplay. I love that vocabulary, screenplay. So you didn't just say book, but you said screenplay, and wrote it in my laptop. Now, just like I said before with the Netflix series where you want to name the specific series, and somebody helped me remember that one, I was thinking of the Money Heist, right? Like I watch a Netflix series, Money Heist, every day. When you mention screenplay, you want to mention a specific screenplay that you're writing. So I recently wrote a screenplay about flying plants that take over the world. The world with their leader Fut Manure. I'm still poking fun of Fut Manure with the flying plants. So I recently wrote a screenplay about flying plants that take over the world, and I wrote it on my laptop. Okay, so be specific, right? It's that specific language that really helps to push your band score to higher levels. So here we go. Let me just say this. It's almost the same as what you said, just with the grammar included and with a specific piece, okay, and with the correlative conjunction. So given the opportunity, I will always choose my computer because it is really convenient for me to both write and edit according to my preference. I recently wrote a screenplay about flying plants that take over the world, and I wrote it on my laptop. So if you had to write a book, would you choose to do it on paper or with a computer?
Given the opportunity, I will always choose my computer because it is really convenient for me to both write and edit according to my preference. Recently, also I wrote this screenplay about a love story. So and it wrote. I used my laptop to finish that screenplay.
Very good. You didn't go with the flying plants. You went with a love story. Much, much nicer. But anyway, it was good. It was you. It was good. It was very good. I loved it. Okay. So that's what you want to do. All right. Fatmanur, thank you for volunteering. So practice that. Okay. Practice that fluency. Practice stringing together with the right
sir,
grammar.
sir, I have one small question. Like, it's a confusion actually, and I have heard from one person. I mean, in IELTS speaking and writing, the evaluation is done by the computer itself. I don't know if it is true or not.
No, it's absolutely human done. So it's a good question. No, it's not done by absolutely. Like I think, yes, Chat GPT and Google Bard are getting popular, but no, AI has not replaced humans yet. No, the speaking and the writing are both evaluated by humans. In fact, the speaking,
both in computer, computer based, like in CBT as well.
Yeah, even in the computer-based writing, it's still evaluated by a human. That's why IELTS is more accurate as well, because they do human evaluations. TOEFL does some computer evaluations, but so with the IELTS speaking, they evaluate your speaking while you're speaking. They use a code system, and they get a good idea of what you get. And when you leave the exam room, then the examiner reviews what you said and what they were taking notes, and then they make their final decision. So they don't actually decide on your band score during the test. They decide after you leave the exam room. They decide, okay, that was a band 6.5, and then they mark it down. And if there's a problem, if you request a remark, then another examiner, usually somebody with more training, will listen to the recording, and they'll give a mark without knowing the other mark. So they don't look at the other examiner and go, oh, that guy gave 6.5, so I'm going to give 6.5. No. They will actually give the mark separately, independently. And if there is one band difference, like let's say the examiner who examined you gave you a 5, and the second examiner that listened gave you a 6 or a 6.5, then they get a third person to come in and listen and mark it, and then they take the average of the 3.
Oh, right.
Okay.
That's very wisdom.
Yeah. So they have a pretty good system in place to make sure that it's accurate. Okay.
All right. So, sir, one more. It's a small confusion. Like, can we use we in the IELTS, like in certain scenarios?
It's not. Yes, you can, but it's in certain scenarios. Yes, but generally, using we, us, and you, it's not a good strategy. Generally, it's not a good strategy. It makes for lower quality language, and it makes for confusing language. So generally, you should try to avoid the we, us, and you in the IELTS exam. Okay?
Right. Okay. Oh, that's
all right. Gopu, good questions, and keep up the good practice. Thank you for calling in.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye, Gopu. All right, everybody. My WebSocket closed, so I'm going to end the class here pretty quick because we're running out of time, and I want to close up the class. We've got Alexi and Carolina still here with us, our moderators, to answer some of your questions. Somebody asked, how do I join the premium version of the course? Go to aehelp.com. Click that big red button there. Again, it's a one-time payment. The student partner speaking is 100% free. So make sure to reach out to your fellow IELTS learners and practice with them, everybody. That is a wrap for speaking part 1. I hope you picked up a lot of good strategies and some good vocabulary. Make sure to visit aehelp.com, glshelp.com. Tomorrow we're going to have task 2 writing and reading, I believe, for subscribers. So we'll have more interactions there. If I didn't get to you today, I will be looking for you tomorrow. We'll be taking volunteers for reading as well, everyone. So have an awesome rest of your day, wherever you are in the world. Make sure to get good sleep, especially before your IELTS exam. And make sure to practice and learn with us. We're here to help you. Your success really is our success. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria, and I will see you tomorrow. Much love to all of you. Bye for now.